Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So this is only a short-term update because yesterday I made a bit of a longer one, the last video yesterday. Anybody who likes some context, check that out. This is now getting interesting because we're now following through to the downside on the Bitcoin chart. I was hoping the Asian traders would move the market to the downside. Well, they certainly left it till the end, right? So let's see if this is now going to push through. The idea was that we are now getting another wave 5 to the downside. Been talking about nothing else for the last few days. So ideally this is now following through. It still hasn't broken support really. It has broken the trend line indeed, but the move down is not clearly impulsive. This might become something impulsive now. So what I want to see is a break below the B wave next, below 26,580. I did talk in the last few days about the fact that a break of the trend line, a break out of this ascending broadening wedge would be a first indication that we head down in the fifth wave. We already yesterday assumed the top was in, but it's a difficult structure to work with because it's corrective to the upside. The move down isn't yet clearly impulsive. Maybe it's going to become impulsive now, certainly breaking small support. But it needs to follow through below the B wave. I think then we have confirmation. That would be a break again below 26,580. In terms of the subwave structures, I mean, we can make an attempt to label that. Just be aware that this is still subject to change because we look at the entire move down as possibly an ending diagonal. So, however, this could have been a wave 1. Yeah, this here a wave 2. Then here a micro 1-2 setup. 3, 4, 5. So 3 probably in the making, then a 4, then a 5. Now that all could just be the A wave of the larger wave 5. We need a little bit more data, yeah, to suggest that. But what is helpful is not to label the subwaves now because it's a bit pointless. What is important is to understand which levels do need to break to confirm that we are in the fifth wave, and what is the level that price shouldn't break above now anymore to follow through to the downside. What we want to see is that this high stays intact. So at 27,300. As long as that level stays intact, and I'm going to move down that dotted line here to indicate that, as long as that level stays intact, we should be able to follow through to the downside. It now needs to break again the B wave low. Until that's done, this could theoretically still extend in some way or form. You know, at the moment you can clearly see it's a 3-wave move down as well. So what you can never rule out is that this is going to become an extended, maybe an extended wave 4 or even a B wave if I label it differently. So it needs to follow through to become an impulse. And ideally it's following through now, yeah. And ideally it reaches the area around 25.3K. I showed you that yesterday. We calculated some targets. 25,300 is the 50% retracement. That is an ideal target for a wave 2. Normally I like to see a wave 2 hit these support areas, especially the 50% retracement. And another way of measuring is if we take length waves 1 through 3 and we go to the high of the wave 4, then the 61.8 extension takes us to roughly 25.1K as well. So there is a good confluence there, okay? So there's good confluence, and I think this is a likely target roughly around the 50% retracement. There is not much more to add, unfortunately. I mean, what I like to see as well, if on the daily chart, when we come down and get close to that 50% level, or at least close to finishing this overall correction, that the daily relative strength index is coming close to the oversold range. Now, we did recover in the last few days, but we already were at around 30, 37. I think when I observed it one day, it was at 34. It did recover on the same day, so didn't print it really here on the daily. But typically, ideally, we go close to the low of the 10th of March in terms of the RSI, but price holds way above it. That would be a very, very bullish sign. And that's sort of what I'm watching for, these RSI signals. We can already see on the MACD on the daily that negative momentum is decreasing. Yeah, this is quite good. We also see, no, that's fine. We see a decrease, yeah, of negative momentum. if that turns bullish, we might end this overall correction here. Yeah, it's a bit too early to say. Price always needs to follow through. Could very well be we print that fifth wave to the downside. We see a few bullish divergences and negative momentum continues to decrease. And then we turn around and break out to the upside. So the idea is still that we get a third wave rally to the upside, but short term, still another low. I already said it in the last few days. I think it was misunderstood by some people that, of course, the low could already be in. Yeah, we hit the trend reversal area. I hope that's clear. So there is no need for another low. But at the moment, price action suggests we get one. So we can only analyze what we see. I always suggest to stay in the present, not to try to stay in the future or go into the future. That always creates emotional responses. Yeah, because people try to predict, people try to have expectations. That is dangerous for your trading. Yeah, try to stay in the present, try to trade in the present, trade what you see based on invalidation points, support, resistance, follow what we see, and then it should guide us very, very well. Yeah, because anything can happen, right? It's not about what can happen in markets that the analysis is about. It's about what should happen. And at present, we should get another low. But there is a clear condition that I gave you, which is that 27,295 needs to hold. Basically, we need to stay below that level. And if we break above that level, then resistance is again 27,824. Okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.